Hello Scorpio, welcome to this reading. We are going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Scorpio for the end of October. Now, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Scorpio, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you, where we'll be taking a look at this final portion of the month. So the timeline on this reading will be from October 27th all the way until November 5th. Reason I chose November 5th is that is the full moon in Taurus. So, see what's coming to a close for you here as we take a look at the end of the month. Go ahead and get all of the cards out, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. Okay. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom. You have the Four of Cups, Scorpio. So with the Four of Cups, this is a card that can really indicate that right now some of you may be avoiding something. For me, the way that I've been approaching this recently is this is more of a card of avoidance. You see this person's focused on, in this case, I like the modern take on tarot here. They're focused on their headphones, right? Whatever music's going on. And they're kind of using this as an escape to avoid what is right in front of them, right? And the universe wants to hand this person a gift, which is, it could be anything. It could be a new beginning. It could be a blessing. The universe wants to hand this person something, and they're not taking it. And from my perspective, that is either because of two things. One, they're bored, or two, they are avoiding. And so let's see how this plays in to your situation. Okay, here, Scorpio. Now, some of you may connect with this idea of avoidance. And by the way, this is not like me coming at you or criticizing you or anything like that. Everybody, I think, has gone through a challenging period of time or stretch of time where, you kind of just want to put the music on and avoid things. Most people have gone through something like that. And for you, you do have a bit of a challenging reading here, but there are also some very good signs as well. Okay, there are some very good signs as well. There seems to be two timelines going on here in this reading. One, there's a love message, and then two, there may be something else going on. It might be money, but I try to get messages for both love and romance and career and finance in my readings. However, I would not be surprised to hear that some of you are in an entangled situation where there is money involved in the relationship, okay? That would also not surprise me either. So it could be the combination of those two things. You could be in both camps or one or the other, okay, based on this reading. Now, I want to give a little bit of a PSA here at the beginning of the reading because not everybody watches the reading through to the end. And just know that right now, between now and, during this period of time, now in November 5th, is a perfect time to finish anything that you need to finish. Okay, if there's a task that you want to get done, it's going to go really easy between now and, it's going to go very smoothly between now and the 5th, because on the 9th is a Mercury retrograde. And it doesn't mean you can't get it done during a retro, but it'll go way easier. It'll be way easier if you can kind of try to get your tasks done before then. So just PSA there. In the middle here, you do have the Queen of Swords, and this is usually somebody who is not afraid to tell someone the truth. Okay, this is someone who's not afraid to, if they have to cut someone off. This is a truth teller. Okay, this is somebody who can also cut you with their words. Somebody who's very direct in communication. But for that reason, they are successful because they are walking in their path of truth, So there may be something around communication here. I do see that there may be a separation as well here, Scorpio, that is going on. And it's possible that maybe this has sort of, you've been kicking the can down the road, or the other person has been kicking the can down the road, meaning this separation needed to go on, or needed to happen for a while, but it just hasn't happened. Like, you kind of put it off, something like that. It happens. People stay in relationships for too long. It happens all the time. So you may be in a scenario like that. Let's take a look at the first column here. You do have the Five of Cups, the Temperance card, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so the Five of Cups is, this is a down feeling, okay? This is feeling down about something, all right? This person is thinking about the spilled cups in their life, meaning they're thinking about the things that have kind of emotionally been challenging or gone wrong for them. But just like the Four of Cups, there are opportunities present, okay? So this person's focused on the Three Cups spilled, but there are two behind them that are upright and full. And so what I say with the Five of Cups is feel the feelings, like I'm not here to emotionally invalidate you. If you're going through something like a breakup or a career scenario that is challenging, like certainly, feel the feelings, but know that this is not the end of the road for you, This is not the final chapter for you. Like you have some gifts here that the universe wants to give you around this scenario as well, okay? Which is very clear here in the Five of Cups and the Four of Cups, okay? So it could be a scenario where, you take the time to grieve the loss of the relationship or grieve the loss of a career scenario or something like this, and then you realize, you reframe this scenario to realize that there are opportunities here, right? You have the Temperance card, which represents healing. Okay, it represents healing. It is the card of Sagittarius, but this card comes after a huge change in one's life, which is the Death card. And it can indicate that your situation is turning around. Okay, your situation is turning around for the better. It's a very, very welcome energy in the tarot. It's also about recovery. Okay, some of you may resonate with that, recovering from something. It's also about moderation and balance in life. And I see that you are going to end up doing that if you've not already engaged in those sorts of things. You're going to end up building balance here for yourself. Now, additionally here, you have the Two of Pentacles. Actually, what you could use right now, based on this reading, is balance. Because the Two of Pentacles is in balance. Okay, this person is juggling the pentacles up and down, right? And what they could really use is balance in their scenario. Okay, and you have this here with the Temperance card. Scorpio. Now we are coming into your season. Actually, as I record this, we are in Scorpio season. Okay, we are in your season here. All right, and so your energy is, the frequency of Scorpio is present for everyone right now, as we are in Scorpio season. Okay, and we'll see how this kind of like plays out here, but try to make the most of your frequency, of your time, right? Of your Scorpio season here that we are rolling into, okay? Now, the Two of Pentacles can also be a card that may indicate that there are balances and changes that are going on in finances for you as well. So I've kind of focused on relationship stuff here because of some of the cards, but I think there's also a timeline here where you're needing to like either cut something out or balance something in finances as well. That would also not surprise me based on this reading. Now, excuse me, in the middle here, you have the Three of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Star. Okay, so you have this Three of Swords, which is the separation card. Okay, it's the separation card. It is, you can see the three swords going through the heart here. All right, for this person, the rain's falling, they're crying, they're going through a heartbreaking scenario or situation, okay? And this can represent the idea that anything that your heart is in, you are needing to, for whatever reason, or the universe is guiding you to separate from, okay? Or that has happened, okay? And so this could be a job that you've put time, energy, and effort into. This could be a relationship that you've put time, energy, and effort into. Anything here, it can represent a separation in one's life. And with the Queen of Swords, to me, what this would suggest is that it was a very curt separation, okay? It was a very, like swift, sort of direct separation that may have happened, okay? And this may have even blindsided you a little bit here because of the influence of the Tower, Okay, and this I think may be part of the story for you. Okay, at this time. Now you, by the way, may also have been the person that did the separating. Okay, so I'm not seeing water signs here, right? So we've got Sagittarius, we have Aquarius, we have air, and then we have some cups, right? But like this would technically be your sign here, right? As you have this Scorpio here in the bottom right. But I'm not really entirely convinced that you're not the one who did the separating either, and you blindsided someone. But what I do know for sure is that somebody in this scenario here was blindsided, okay, was surprised that this was going on. Either you or the other person, okay? It depends on the situation. We'll try to get some details when we move into the clarifications portion here, okay? And I really want to point something out, which is that not only do you have this Temperance card, which comes after the change of the Death card, but you have the Star card in addition to the Tower. Okay, so the Star card is a welcome sign. It's a welcome energy in in a reading like this, because the Star is healing after upheaval, after being blindsided, after shock, after awe, after upheaval. The Star represents tranquility. Okay, the Star person is in a healing pool of water, which indicates the ability to heal from something traumatic or challenging or an upheaval in life. Okay, this is also a wish come true, and it is true that in life sometimes endings are blessings in disguise, or separations are indeed blessings in disguise. In the final column, you have the Five of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Two of Cups. Okay, so with the Five of Pentacles, this is somebody who's sort of like left out in the cold. This is somebody who has lost something. Okay, usually it's of a financial nature, especially with the Three of Swords next to it. Okay, but you have the general idea of loss here with the Five of Cups, Three of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. This is actually a very challenging upper row. Okay, it's actually very challenging upper row because it feels like it's sort of hitting you on multiple fronts. Okay, and what I would say here is that, again, I think some people are going to resonate with this idea that this is a situation where you're entangled. Okay, it's a combination of money and assets, resources, as well as love, emotions. Your heart was in something. Like there's a sense of entanglement here that happened, or that you were involved in. Okay, and with that you have the Tower, which is this collapsing of that scenario. Okay, it's potentially exposing a false belief that you've been living through. And, the Tower, it can come forward when, your whole world gets upended. I do want to reiterate that you have healing from this in the reading with the Star, okay? And the Temperance card. And once again, there's a partnership involved in this situation here with the Two of Cups. So at this point, I want to get details, okay? I want to get more details on where we're going with this reading. Let's go ahead and pull some Oracle cards, and then we'll also pull some tarot cards. Okay. Energy on the bottom, you have Hanuel, embraced by love. Let love reach where it has never reached before. Okay, this is a call to self-love here, okay? Because it doesn't feel like you're getting a lot of that from the outside world right now, okay? Or from the people around you, okay? At this time. And maybe you do have someone who's really in your corner, a close family member, a friend, somebody who's really in your corner that can help you as well. Emotionally, that is. All right, now you have Seraphiel, heart of devotion. Let the cup of your heart be filled through commitment and dedication. Actually, not many people pull this card. This is a fairly recent deck for me. So that is interesting. You pull this heart card here. You have Daniel, divine discernment. Trust in the messages within. They are divinely guided. As well as Raguel, waves of healing. Be open and vulnerable, as this will initiate healing and harmonious resolution. That makes a lot of sense to me, okay, this Raguel card, because you have the biggest indicators of healing in the tarot, which is Temperance and the Star. Okay, the card. Actually, we pulled quite a few here. So you have Gabriel, divine emergence. It's time to be seen. Don't be afraid of your power and gifts. You have Sandalphon, building the bridge. Your role is to create a connection between heaven, earth, and all hearts. as well as Uriel, learning experience. Take time to review, study, and hone your knowledge before further proceeding. Yeah, there's something like the term heart or healing here, embraced by love. Like these sorts of messages are really coming in strong for you in the oracles, and I think that it's helping to kind of build this narrative here that is going on for your scenario if this is your reading. Now, this is a good time for me to mention, if you're still watching, that you have free will over the tarot, right? So even though you clicked on this reading, you can choose to decide that this is not your reading, right? And this is not your scenario. So if this is not resonating with you, I'll see you next week, and no hard feelings, okay? So like that is just something that I want to throw out there as well to you, Scorpio. If this is not resonating with you at all, especially when you get these challenging readings, because the purpose of these readings is to kind of give you some guidance on your your day-to-day, your week-to-week life. So just keep that in mind. With that said, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are well for you, Scorpio. So let's go ahead and move into the clarifications here. Okay. So you have the Ten of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands, and you have the Three of Pentacles. All right, so the Ten of Cups is really, it's quite literally the opposite of the Five of Cups, okay? Five of Cups is like being at a really low point in your life, and the Ten of Cups is being at an extremely high point. Like, it is total happiness, good family energy here, like good times, and I'm not entirely ready to say what's going on there because a couple things are brewing in my mind as I look at that card combination of cards with the rest of this reading. But one positive thing that I will say is that your situation could be turning around here. And remember, we saw the signs here in the reading that despite maybe going through something challenging here, there are real opportunities present for you. Now, it seems like for some people, if you're still watching and this is not a relationship reading, there seems to be a scenario that changed in the workplace. Okay, it seems to be like something happened in your career or in your work scenario here that completely changed with the Two of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles can represent your colleagues or your place, the people that you work with, and it can also represent progress that you're making in your career. The Seven of Wands is asking you to take a stand on something, right? To stand your ground, to put your foot down, so to speak, and say, this is how I feel, these are my terms, and this is what I'm ultimately doing. It's this idea of like defending your position, okay? Sometimes in life we need to defend ourselves or defend our position to protect where we want to be going, or what we feel even, or just broadly what we feel is right, within the scenario. So let's see what else we have here. You have the Seven of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Page of Wands. Okay, so the Magician is Mercury, okay, and Mercury is the planet of communication. The Queen of Swords is a swords card, which sword is connected to swords in tarot can represent communication as well. So you have something, you had a deep conversation here, a very important conversation that happened here that I think did catch you by surprise with the Tower, and I think we're getting confirmation of that. However, with the Magician, it is most importantly less about Mercury, and most importantly, it is about manifestation in the tarot. And despite this maybe low moment that some of you have experienced, you still possess all of the tools, skills, talents, and abilities that you need to be able to turn the situation into one that is positive, or if nothing else, if not positive, maybe there are no positives in the scenario, right? Although I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think even in the worst moments, you can find at least one positive. But you can at least turn the situation on its head and make something out of this, or at the very least manifest your way into a new scenario that is more in alignment with you, Okay, now this is about action taking as well. The problem for the magician is not skills, talents, or abilities, it's taking action. Okay, so if there's something you need to move on, once again, this is a perfect stretch of time for you to do that. It's going to be a lot easier between now and November 5th, okay, to move on something. Now you have the Page of Wands here as well, and this represents a career opportunity, okay? And I love that it's coming with the star, okay? Because this may have or might appear after the upheaval, after the collapsing of some scenario here that you have undergone. Okay, this is a positive sign. With the Seven of Pentacles, it is long-term situations that you are really, really thinking about. Okay, this person's thinking about a shift in their financial situation or a shift in their life, right? A shift in the direction of their life generally. And it comes around a separation for you here, as you have the Three of Swords, right? And, it is true that, like, when we experience upheavals, when we experience painful separations or, heartbreaking scenarios, it is true that it's in these moments that we kind of gain perspective. We gain perspective, and I've noticed that myself and other people included, and, myself and other people that I've known or I've worked with, like, these types of scenarios, like, this is when you contemplate a shift, okay? When you, decide to, completely gain perspective and move into a new situation. So you may be going through something like this. Now we've got a lot of pentacles here showing up. You have the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Six of Cups, and you have the King of Pentacles. All right, so I have to say the clarifications couldn't be more opposite than the original cards, but this is why we clarify. So there are a couple things that I would suggest here based on these clarifications, and the first one, which is a positive one, is that it seems that you are kind of coming out of a low moment or a low point, okay? And it seems like you are kind of on the other side of this scenario, okay? And not only that, but you seem to be in the process of fully processing it. And with that comes an opportunity, which is the Page of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles that is here, okay? Now, this tower moment, this separation, this heartbreaking scenario, this may be around a family situation with the Six of Cups. With the Six of Cups, it could be somebody that you were in a relationship with for a long time. There's an element of time, right? It represents time in something. When you have time spent in something, when you have the Six of Cups, okay? It can refer to your past. It can refer to your past lives if you want to take stock in that. It can refer to your homeland, your motherland, the place that you were born, the family you were born into, the patterns that you picked up from early experiences in life, right? And this is coming around the tower. So something like that may have shifted your perspective here in a big way, okay? And some of you may have experienced like a clearing, like a clearing is not the right term. It's more of like a, I guess earth shattering is more like on brand here with this type of reading, like a perspective shifting event that happened here for you, an upheaval, a shock. Lastly, you have the King of Pentacles. I think that this is just doubling down on some partnership that this is connected to in some way. Okay, the king can be any person in the tarot. Usually an earth sign, but it could be any person here as well. So take a look at the Kipper cards, but you do have the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom, which I like. Okay, it seems like nobody's questioning your talent here during this time. Okay, you clearly have skills and abilities with the Magician, the Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. These are cards I look for when I see like talent in a tarot reading for sure. And the Eight of Pentacles also represents dedication. I do think that you are dedicated to your family or a family, someone, and this has changed. This has changed, but it seems like you are being given a gift of opportunity. I know it sounds bizarre, but you are being given the gift of opportunity around this scenario, which is, let's see what the Kipper cards have to say about that. You have expectation, mature woman, distant horizons, coffin, main female, and lovers. Okay. Yeah. It does seem like there are a number of family cards that are showing up here. The Two of Cups is more of a love card, but you have the family room, you have the main female and mature woman. That could be an elder, right? Relationship as well. But you do also have the lover. So I guess some people are in multiple scenarios here, or it's like you're entangled as well. Okay, now the cards would suggest with the Distant Horizons card that you are kind of like on the other side of this. This can represent 1 to 3 months in the future and future looking bright for you. Things on the upswing for you. Here, energy on the bottom has changed. You've experienced a big one, it feels like, if this is your reading. So, Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.